A favorite spot for local history buffs sits quietly in the lobby of the Lowenstein Building in downtown Rock Hill. Local resident Jim Faris designed and constructed a train model depicting Rock Hill in 1953.
The model as I built it was July 15th at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in 1953. Rattery's drugstore had burned down in the fall, and that started changing the downtown. So I wanted it as it was before that burned down. Well, 3 o'clock was shift change at the mill, so I didn't have to have a lot of people on the sidewalk around the mill. The stores all closed at 1 on Wednesday and took the afternoon off, so I didn't have to put as many people on the layout. There wasn't any traffic downtown, no cars, so it cut out some work. In scale, the railroad layout is about 2/3 of a mile from one end to the other. In scale, which is, I believe, 1/60th scale, so 1 foot is 160 feet. Well, the reason that I created the model, I have a grandson that was about 4 years old, and he enjoyed trains. So I decided to build a layout for him to play with me. Well, being an engineer, I got a little carried away and decided to build a layout of the old Rock Hill train area, which happened to all be downtown, and kept adding little things to it here and there. And before I knew it, I had half of downtown Rock Hill on the railroad layout. I enjoyed doing it though. That was the engineer in me. I just liked to tinker. Got the address and name of every business and every house that was going to be on the layout. But a funny story is my wife, when I was doing this, I'd get her to ride with me downtown Rock Hill on Sunday afternoon, and I'd get out and measure the buildings that I was going to put on the layout and get a picture of them so I could scale them off right. And she was worried about the police coming to get me because she thought we was casing the place to break it in. Went to the library and got the city directory for 1953, because that was one of the years I was driving a delivery truck in Rock Hill after school. All total, it was 8 years, and I probably worked, I would say I spent maybe 8 to 15 hours a week on it. So say it's 8 hours a week for 8 years, that's a lot of time. Well, the model itself is built from a lot of different materials. The buildings of the town and the areas are made out of poster board and wood that has been hand-shaped and cut with a razor blade and glued together. There's like 550 automobiles on the layout, but I made them by mass producing them. I'd take a long piece of wood and shape it the profile of a car, and then chop it off about a 1/2 inch long, and then sand it and paint it. And I made 500 of them that way. I have a lot of memories about Rock Hill downtown. Well, that hill on Main Street was the place that if you knew how to drive a stick shift, you didn't want to get caught on that hill, because the light would stop you and the train would come back behind you. So if you didn't know how to hold the brake and work the clutch and do everything at one time, you were in dangerous territory, because it was a pretty steep little hill. So a lot of people ran that red light. There are little things all over the layout that mean something to me because I grew up at that time. At the old Gulf station, there was a crowd that hung around there a lot. And I have depicted on the model a bunch of them out there arguing over what's wrong with a little car that's sitting there. There's also a policeman standing in front of the old People's National Bank, and that's my grandfather. But his job was the downtown policing of Main Street from 7 to 3, Monday through Friday. Just to honor him, I put a policeman standing there in front of the bank. Well, I'm not building any addition to it at the current time. It is as complete as it's going to be, probably. Well, when I see people enjoying it, it does make me feel good. It's nice to share, some memories with people that come up, but they give me more credit than I'm due. They always have some questions that I don't have the answer to, but a lot of them have some of the same memories I do, particularly if they're old people like me. I grew up a little kid, running around barefooted on dirt streets in this town. There were a lot of mills here, and so it was a little mill town. And well, Rock Hill is just a pleasant community that's about the right size. It's not too big, but yet it's got everything you need. The only thing that bugs me now is though the traffic's beginning to get too much. But it is doing well and prospering, and well, you got to be, if you're not growing, you're going backwards. Glad to be here.